Hi there. Just, it hasn't done it yet. Here we go. Okay. Hello, hello. How's your week been? Of course, Slurpee, I know a little bit more about your week. This week, we're going to talk about creativity and peace. And guess what? The color of pink. There's hang on, I'm just trying to center my picture so that I can watch myself. So as you can see, I've got my angels with me, and I'm wearing some pink. So I'm just wondering if you actually, as usual, can you hear me? And there's usually a time delay, and I'm letting you know. So I'm going to ask you once for B if you can hear me. And all systems are a go. As you know, I studied the art of creativity and the art of living with Cecil Collins in the ILEA for 8 years. And what he taught me, inspired me, is that we don't have to understand in order to create. We need to create in order to understand. And the reason why is that you would find out in my art classes that I take you through the fundamental principles of who we are and what is creativity. And you know, forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but you have this invisible realm of such beauty that all things are possible there. And we're meant to bring it down and create a form that reflects that aspect of who we are. So it's really important that we contact that place. It's like I see all the violence that's around, all the anger and the confusion, and whenever a person's frustrated, they raise their voice, or they want to hit out, or they get angry. And you know that, or we have a war. But that's, for me, not a good reason to create peace. And the interesting thing about creativity, it actually means the restoration of what is wonderful about living and being human. And we've lost sight of that. It's like we've made art to be something to be exploited, that we are objects, consumers, and the art is good art if it attracts you to spend your money. But instead it's well, ancient cultures always said that we are what we contemplate. And I often wonder, what are we contemplating? And what's amazing about COVID is that every one of us is being put in a position to contemplate. And this week has been really interesting. Here I've talked about me, myself, and I in my studio or in my gallery or in my living room, concentrating on what is my next step and my next cycle. But we're all part of a bigger cycle. Mankind is in a new epoch, a new beginning, and it's our choice to participate in that. And it's with our thoughts that it becomes. I was watching a talk by Sadhguru this week, and he was saying, because he was getting a lot of questions about COVID and all the different opinions about what it is and what we should do and what we should not do. And he said, in a way we've forgotten what war is. In this COVID, which in a way is a war, we have a choice. We have a choice to wear a mask. We have a choice to isolate. We have a choice to social distance. We have a choice to call people and check on how they are. Because in a real war, when a bomb drops, you don't have a choice. Everyone runs away and goes into the bomb shelters, and they do it. They don't necessarily like it, and it's not easy, but they do it. This is a collective situation, and Cecil used to say that the thing that will help most is learning to look and understand images that bring peace, that bring happiness and stillness. It's like an atmosphere. And artists can play a huge part in that, because we're going to have we do have a lot of leisure time. And creativity, providing it's creative and not destructive, can help manifest that. So Virpi, what did you want to ask about the art classes? Because we didn't get to do it this week, did we? Well, I think I have to continue talking because for some reason I'm not seeing. Hang on a minute. I've had such a week. Ah, there she is. Okay. This week, both my main computers decided that was enough. And Alice has been helping me. And do you know what I discovered is, much to my surprise, is that it's like they represented my structure. Very interesting. And suddenly without it, it's almost like that experience when you lose your mobile phone and all your contacts are in it. I thought, wow, thank goodness for Alice. It's, and someone made a comment on one of my posts about, oh my God, I've watched all of Netflix. What do I do? Well, that's when we have to look for the stillness inside. And what I'd like to do this week, well, today, is talk about color. And today we're going to talk about pink. In the mental color therapy that I studied for, 15 years and beyond as a practitioner, pink we always use for the heart, to heal hurt heart, to bring a smile to you. And you know, I've been thinking about this Black Friday week, and I've decided to make mine Pink Friday Conversations with Ginger Gilmour. And as of tomorrow, you can go on to my shop, which is just there below my face, and sign up to have a half an hour or longer conversation with me on any subject within reason. Because I think it's special that we can have more of a heart-to-heart, to know more about each of you, if you want to do that. So, Verbi, do you have a question for me this week? She's typing. And I have to say that my images of me is slow this week. So bear with me. And being slow might be good, because we can be more still and listen to the little things that come to us. I think there's something wrong with receiving my messages. My comments, I mean. There she is. As I was saying about the different aspects of who we are, the different levels of who we are, where creativity is born, and we covered that in the classes, and of how to touch that as a reality, because the mind can touch that reality, or it can touch superficiality. And the creative realm is actually where love and happiness and harmony is. And I have to say that for years, I thought that if you're going to be spiritual, you shouldn't be involved with the material world. And that was a bummer. Because now I'm much happier, because I see that there's an actual spiritual purpose to the form. And particularly as an artist, artists aren't that much different than everybody else. It's just that we have a greater intensity, and with the purpose of bringing that creative realm into form for everybody to know that we're all part of that. Hi, Andy. Link says only 100 characters, therefore expanding on what is initially going to say. Oh my goodness, hang on a minute. How do we do unlimited? Slower comments, 10 only comments of 100 characters, restricted. Goodness gracious me. What about, do I just do only your followers? There's so much to learn. Let's try that. Pink Friday. I'm glad you like it. Yep, we're going to be putting up some posts about Pink Friday. This, because the pink is more to do with the heart quality of all of us. It's to do with the inner side of our nature. So there you go. Ginger's out there again. Hi, Doreen. Hi, Michael. The 50th birthday where you walked a maze and ended up covered in smoke. That's true. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for giving me some hints here, guys. Well, there I was, coming up to half a century. And I had a house near East Grinstead. The children were still living at home. We had a lovely, lovely garden. So I decided that I wanted to have a, what would you call it? A maze, but not quite a maze. It's what's it called? Mind work, please. It'll probably come back. Anyway, I had this fire dancing person from Cheltenham come down, and he made this maze that is a very spiritual thing to walk. So I had to go in it with him. He had this huge fur coat, really wild person. And we went through this whole thing and then came back out again. Well, little did I know, the fire felt like a friendly fire, but I didn't have any fire protection. And a friend of mine that worked on sets came up to me later and says, you should have sprayed some fire protection on your white flowing gown and your hair. Now she tells me. Anyway, I survived, except my hair was green for about 4 years. And my hairdresser said, That's one for the books. He's never had anyone with green hair unless they wanted it dyed. And then what I did was that where the grass was burnt, I planted crocuses, so every year the design would come up. And hopefully the new owner would mow the crocus flowers down until they died on their own. That was an experience. Great party. We had fireworks as well. Let's see if anyone else has some. Hi, Stephen. Do you have a favorite painting that comes into your mind when you least expect it? No, it's not a matter of least expected, but since being with Cecil and doing these classes for so many years, of tuning in to be a messenger of what image was my vehicle was to create, I wait. I know I have to be there. I get a surge of an energy that I follow. And right now, the painting I'm working on, which I think is going to be called The Great Happiness, because it's starting to become more visible of what the energy is supposed to represent. But it's been a real task of letting go, waiting, seeing what happens. Sometimes the paint will go on, it just seems like, oh, what am I doing this for? And then something starts to happen, and the flowering is starting to happen. And one day I will share it with you. Yeah, but in the meantime, we're going to work on Pink Friday. So, as you can see, there are these lovely angels here called the Angel of Compassion. And they always show up with the Angel of Might, who is upstairs and too heavy to bring down. Someday you can come and see her. I did a Red Cross charity event, East Meets West. I was on their fundraising committee one year. Well, I was there for 5 years, but this one we did a huge installation where I gave them Angel of Might to auction. But I told them that it takes great might to stand for compassion. And you need to know, you need to have the will, strong will to be able to stand for compassion. And, we're building the culture of peace. And how you do that is that each one of us has to look at the way we respond, that if we get hurt or, I don't know, you see something that you don't agree with, sometimes we have to, come out full force with it and be direct. But our nature seems to, let's get a stick and hit that person. And if we truly want peace, we need to work with what's inside us. To be able to be the conductor of who we are. So what I want to do today is an experiment, because I started with talking about the color pink, and how in the color therapy that I worked with and studied and gave was rose pink. It is a very special color, and The cover of my book is rose pink for exactly that reason. So that when you look at it, it's always sending out a smile of love. Because it's every one of us longs for love. Cecil used to call it the lost paradise. And it's like all the things that we do supposedly to defend our freedom or our love, don't think it's working. And I know the power of what we are inside of love, and I know we really want it. Yeah. Hang on a minute, guys. Verby says, oh, it still says there has to be 100 marks on the message. So have you been receiving any? No, I haven't. I'm trying to type longer now, so it comes through technical stuff. There's some setting that you have put on that is, you know, every week I need you guys. Oh, gosh. You know, I thought this was going to be just free-flowing. Hang on. Only your followers will be able to leave comments. Do you think that's what I have to do? Because there's slow discussion. I see the discussion's still on. Thank you, Verby. Let's see if it changes. I want that off. Okay, got it, I think. Okay, let's hope we can dance in the Pink Friday. Love it, yes. Okay, good evening. There we go. I think we're on the way. Donald, I have a question for you. If you think that it's too personal to tell me, or I can understand. You are too personal. What happened between you and David? Also, when I watch you, it seems like you are always crying when you are doing your experiential experience of beauty. Gosh. Okay. Sorry about that. Well, maybe that's what it is. You know, sometimes holding a vision, when you can see the beauty of what life is, sometimes that's painful. Because I see it innate in other people around me and their longing, their sadness. And I've had mine. And Donald, you need to read my book. It's a long story. I mean, Dave and I were together for 20 years and then 20 years beyond that, and with children and things, and then there's life. Andy says, have texted you the link that popped up. Good evening, Isabel. See, the last one means it's okay now. Okay, cool. See, I always need you guys to help me. Even my son doesn't always get to help me on these things. Verby, I'm doing almost okay. As I said, I had 2 of my main computers break down. And Alice has been helping me. And it's really interesting that my computers were a part of me that I didn't realize how much they were a part of me. So what I want to do is for us to do a short meditation and on pink. So I'm going to put up an image that we used in our healing quite a lot. And I'll talk you through the visualization on the color of pink, love and compassion. And what I think we should do is, I think you should close your eyes for a few minutes, well, maybe not a few minutes, seconds, just for a bit, and go really quiet. Still all of those voices that say it should be or shouldn't be, and then I'm putting up the image of a rose that I want you to look at. Can you feel the delicate texture? Because I'm sure you've seen a rose many times. Can you feel the soft petals on your face? Can you smell its fragrance? Take all those feelings and put it in your heart. And let your heart open. Trust it. And spread it out beyond your heart, through your body, into your mind. And let it be there, soft, kind. Feel the peace, for that is what you really are. Well, there are a lot of other colors in the world for us to ponder. And I'm hoping that I'm going to show up again. Hello, hello. Oh. You know, Francesca, it's never too late to be spiritual. You know what's amazing? You are spiritual at all times, all your life, all the future. You're being human. That's what spiritual is. Becky, I feel you, Ginger. I was with an ex-husband for over 24 years when I was 15 years old, and life and love doesn't always spend out as we visualize. I think we all have different purposes in our lives, our souls, and no matter how hard it was, I know that my soul had to do something else. And that's what I'm working on. And of course, COVID's making it more interesting, I have to say. You know, I mean, I really want you guys to come here and we can draw together and we can talk about things, we can hug, we can make food. And instead, we're all in our own bubble with ourselves. Verpi was saying that she's cried today because I still don't know if I can continue it at my job after next Monday. It's really giving me stress, I'm sure, and anxiety. These live streams of Matt and you are keeping me sane. That's really special, Verpi. We really... I'm glad to share that with you and everybody else too. And it's an amazing time right now for us to grow in our hearts. And, you know, if any of you want a deeper conversation, a personal conversation with me, I'm offering up Pink Friday conversations on my shop, my book page. It's right there, shop.gingergilmour.co.uk, if you want to have that. And we can go deeper into things if you want to do that. Juliet, that was so beautiful. Roses are my favorite to grow in my little garden. They give me such peace and joy. Tim Hain. Verpi, if music be the food of love, play on and give me excess of it, said Shakespeare. Thank you, Tim. And you go far with bringing music. The arts are really needed right now because it's a flavor that touches each one of us. But as I've said before, we have a choice of what images we let in, and we need to discern what actually affects us. And there's a lot of violence in all the images we look at generally, and it's quite an effort. But maybe that's what needs to be there, so we learn to make a choice, to go for love, to really know what love is, what beauty is, you know. I've really been discovering another element in me of letting go. I've become dependent on the internet, even the computer, to make some of the images for the internet instead of painting some more. It's like my lifeline, this Wednesday thing too. I was really amazed when my computers broke down this week. It was like, oh my goodness. It was more than me, myself, and I in this house this week. It was an incredible experience. I don't know if you've had that. It's such a feeling of loss. And my kids are always telling me off for not backing up. And I was watching up there in the corner, 365 days, no backup. And I thought, no, it's all right. I'm cool. It's all fine. It wasn't fine. But then a miracle happened. One of my supposed backups, which I thought wasn't working because it said it wasn't backing up, had. So now we went over to the other computer because when I was in Hawaii, I had one at home and one in Hawaii. So then it became one computer was in the studio and one was in my flat. Fortunately, I have this laptop. It's so Alice went over and tried to get all the things onto that one, and then that crashed. So I was wondering, Donald is having a surgery. He's got a very bad back. Third procedure. Okay. Well, keep me posted. Let me know how you're doing. Thank you, Becky. That's one of my wishes for us to all realize that we're all one together. Karen, we are putting up the conversations on more than just Friday. So have a look and put in your wishes, make a couple choices. Where are you going on Friday? Becky says, very wise, this time has been sent to us to repair ourselves and show us that immaterialism in the world is not what truly counts. This is true. It's like we have an amazing technological aspect to our society, but it's honestly, it's proven to be empty. And that's because it doesn't go deep enough in recognizing who we are as a human being, what's really, really, really there. And you can reach it, and you don't need drugs and drink and all those things, though one has participated in a bit of that at times, but not anymore, because I want the real thing. I mean, anxiety's enough to throw you off, I have to say. Karen, I have been in a bubble for over 12 years. It's so strange to see it happen to the whole world. I know some friends of mine have ME, which the world doesn't recognize enough yet as being something of a real physical aspect. There's all kinds of theories about it, but it is quite a challenge for those people. And now suddenly everyone's having to behave like that. So I don't know what's going to happen when it's over or when it will be over. But we have to just work on the images that we look at, the images we create, what we think. We are the conductors, you know. And pink helps a lot, I have to say. Becky, great surname, it's Mary, Merry. I find myself printing stuff off like pics and sheets. I now prefer to have them in my hand as I feel the internet is going to crash soon and all will be lost forever. Well, I hope it won't go that far, but I hope humanity pulls up their socks and starts to go deeper and value what we seem to have forgotten. But it's not gone away. It is there. I mean, look what happened in the first lockdown. How they could see the mountains again. The fog was gone and the animals started coming back and things. And that we are entering into winter now. That's going to be another challenge for a lot of people. Verbi, you need to go to my shop tomorrow and have a look so that we could have a private conversation. It's not up yet, but it will be. And Julia acknowledges you. She says, Verbi, you're so right. Love is so powerful and has so many ways of showing itself, or indeed for us to show love. Sometimes the little things is it. True. What I also want to tell you is before my computer was broke down, I put up a lot of images of my paintings on artpal.com, and you can buy prints there of any of the ones, and if you don't see the one you like, let me know. So it's artpal.com, Ginger Gilmour. And apparently you can have them on paper, on canvas, on a t-shirt, I think. So have a look and see, because I know a lot of them print really well, so that you still get the energy of the colors coming to you, of their manifestation. So here we are again. I can't believe how fast these things go. We have 10 minutes. I so love being with you. So let's keep going. Yeah. I love my angels of compassion. I have them in my windows. A lot of people have bought them and taken them home as well. They're really special beings. So if you want me to put you on my absent healing list, send me a message. I will do that. I do that in the morning. And you need to work at being well, but well really is to do with going deeper, going in the pink. And I'm find myself being still more, being quiet more. I've always wanted that in my life, more quiet, for me to be able to do that. And it's happened. It's happening. And then I see things inside me like, oh no, it's happening. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if you guys feel that, but I am so happy when I do meditate. Oh, well, you know, Becky, Mary is a wonderful vibration to have every day, not just Christmas. And, you know, thousands of people are working on being merry. So what a lucky girl to have Mary as a surname. At least I think so. And I bless you very much. That's okay, Lori. You're here. You can watch the replay. Tim, you want some more? Then ask me a question. Okay? What should we talk about? If you want more. By the way, Tim has done a special song to raise money for the homeless. Maybe you should put in the comments, Tim, the link for it so people can donate to it and listen to the song. It's really great, if you would. Isabel loves the painting of the heart behind you. Thank you. It was an interesting experience of probably about 5-6 years ago, before everyone started doing the acrylic pouring. I was just wanting to work on can I see what happens with my thoughts and my meditativeness, working on a relationship between my materials of the resin and the paint and me. See what came out of it. And that's what came out of it, was the heart. It meant so much to me to see this just happen. That shape. And it moved around as the resin dried and things. The same with the other one on the other side, where it was like I just wanted to do the divine light, and it sparkles. And it was an interesting period. But it's I've changed now, going into back to oil paints with COVID. I don't want to work with resin like that again. It was I had a big industrial building to where we could have the big fans and lots of masks before we had to be masks. It's so all the smells could pass. I can't have that here in my house. Turpentine's enough. I know, Becky. It's very sad that even in 2020 that there's still homeless folks. I just was watching CNN tonight, and they were saying that there are 70,000, or was it 90,000 people that are starving. I don't really know how that can happen. And obviously we still have to work on it. So there's Tim, it's for crises. Have a listen and give if you can. You can give just £1. Tim, I tried and I got to try again because I couldn't get my bank account linked into it. So I'll try again, I promise. And I don't know how we're going to get governments to work more for their people. It's than they do, but mind you, probably in the West countries, the democratic countries, were better off than some of the other ones around the world. But we're humanity, and every thought that you post helps. Because even if we're sitting indoors, you can focus and send. Like I visualize free, just there's a lot of fear, and Think Pink helps focus that. We have to be very careful not to, we have to be aware of things, but be careful of what you're watching too much of, what it's doing to you. Pay attention. What's happening outside in the news world isn't the only thing that life is. Life is so much greater, and it's been hoodwinked. It's and we got to take it back because it's in here. It's latent in there. Just keep working on it. Think Pink. Think Pink. I know, Erin. Isn't it funny? Yeah. No, Becky, we can't ignore it. We have to think, focus, see what we can change in our own thing. I'll tell you one thing, when Oxfam opens up again, I'm going to be letting go of a lot of things that I accumulated over the years. It will, Juliet. Andy, we were for a week, 14 people in the rainforest, sublime. This is when Grab the Pink song also revealed itself. Gloria in Excelsis Deo. Verbi, your heart is your salvation. Yep, I love Pink too, Isabel. That's why I thought we better do it again. Look around and things. One of the interesting things of my life when I started in color therapy a long time ago, when pink became important to me. And England's amazing with their roses. I mean, goodness, I'd walk down the street in London and everybody has roses, and the smell is, this fragrance is just so wonderful. And so I started wearing rose essential oil. Body Shop at the time had a really great one that didn't give me a headache because I couldn't take many perfumes and things at the time. And you know what's amazing about it is that now, whenever my children smell a rose, they think of me. I didn't do it for that reason, but it just happened to become like that. Really interesting. And apparently, the scent of Mary Magdalene is rose. That's very profound, isn't it? And then the other amazing thing when I started to study with Torquem Serdarian, and he has a great pamphlet. He's not alive now, but the organization is still there in Arizona. Apparently the Egyptians always put a rose garden around their temples and around their homes and things because it psychically protects you. I found that really fascinating. So, lucky Brits for having roses everywhere. And they didn't even know it protects. Maybe the Celts knew. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff we can learn again about the basic aspects of love and life. It's like we're relearning the art of living, but on a higher level. Cecil, my art teacher, used to say a paradise re-won is of greater value. So, okay, guys, you are relearning from a more conscious way how to love and value yourself and your life and life itself. So every week, let's focus on that. And during the week, we're sending out that vibration of pink. Really, Erin? Bulgaria? Wow, okay. We'll have to talk about that. Because I've run out. When the Body Shop stopped making it, I bought a whole lot of bottles, and that was years ago. It's amazing. And I've only got a wee bit left. So, I'll see. Well, my special friends, it is that time again. Glory be. Okay. Well, have a look at my shop for the conversations, and look up artpal.com if you fancy any art on small prints, big prints. There's a whole load of stuff there. Let me know. So long, it's time to fly in the pink. I love you guys. Thank you. Thanks, Tim, for coming. You're great. Keep up the music. Sandy, I'm glad it helped you. Well, hope to see you again and have a really good week. And be well. Be safe. Be happy. Be creative. And so long.